We're going to give it a few more minutes because I know we had a number of people signed up for this. So we'll give them a chance to get their lunch and get online. And Joe is joining us despite the fact that she's not feeling well. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, so please excuse any sniffling or coughing and go get your flu shot. I was waiting until later on in September to get mine, and I wish I would have gotten it earlier.
It is kind of early for flu.
Yeah. It's going around the schools. I know that.
Oh, that's the
Petri dish.
yes. I was going to say that's the #1 vector for just about everything.
So Kim, what organization are you with?
I'm with Over the Bridge Arts. I am a brand new board member, so I am here to learn everything you
Oh,
can.
awesome.
Wonderful. Glad to have you with us.
Hey, Kim. Hi. I am here. Good to see you.
Mandy, welcome.
Hi.
Mandy, you're with are you with Bishop Arts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I thought you looked familiar.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to get rid of my visuals here until I finish shoving my sandwich into my mouth.
Sure,
then
we appreciate that.
And there's
Hi, Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Hi.
How are you, Miss James?
I'm good. I'm good. Just busy.
Just talking about we just survived our first homecoming.
Yeah.
It's a brand new experience. It's a whole new level.
It's gonna go by so quickly. That's the thing. It just flies by. Like, oh,
Oh,
I'm good. I'm, like Joanna, I've been part of North Texas Giving Day every single
since it's been around.
year.
Well, we're
From the beginning.
gonna combine this to be North Texas Giving Day, Giving Tuesday, and end of year giving. Kind
Perfect.
of lump it
Sounds
all
good.
in together.
That's great.
Sounds great. So I'm going to wait just another minute or two and then
Okay,
we
no
will.
worries.
Anyway.
Welcome, Marissa. Joe, do you want people to put questions in the chat or wait till the end? Or what's your preference?
We can do whatever is easier. I kind of like questions in the as we go.
Okay.
So don't forget. But I don't plan on talking about anything that's uber complicated. It's really just a refresher of what we already know.
Okay.
And what works. So it shouldn't be anything too difficult.
Well, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Okay.
So welcome everybody.
Thank you.
We are very happy today to have Jo Trezilla with us. She is the founder and CEO of Trizcom, a digital PR firm since 2008. But she's also one of us. I know her from when she was back with the Shakespeare Festival many years ago. And she handled many things there, the way we all do, wearing so many hats, with marketing, fundraising, production help, whatever needed doing, Jo was there doing it. And then she was at the Irving Art Center for a number of years doing marketing for them until she left to start her own firm. But she's also one of our cultural affairs commissioners, one of our longest serving. She has served District 12, I think, since Kara Mendelson was elected, haven't you, Jo?
Yeah, year before that, I was appointed
year
by
before that.
Grayson.
Oh, okay, all
I
right.
think I'm on my last year, but I thought I was on my last year, so I don't know.
Well, we appreciate it and, very happy that you've agreed to do this for us. So I'm going to turn it over to Jo Trezilla.
Okay, fabulous. Well, thank you all for having me today. I did say this earlier, but I have the flu. I'm on day 3 of the flu. So if you hear any sniffling or coughing, please accept my apologies in advance. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
perfect. And as we go through this, feel free to interrupt and ask questions and have conversation. I totally believe that in order for these things to be effective, it has to be a two-way dialogue and not just one way. But what we're going to talk about is a little bit about North Texas Giving Day, Giving Tuesday, and your end of year campaign ask. Some of the things that we're talking about might be too advanced for North Texas Giving Day, just in the time frame, but can definitely be implemented for Giving Tuesday. And then we're going to end with a case study of something that we did as a communications firm for a nonprofit client that was very, very successful. And it happened to be over Giving Tuesday and their end of year campaign. But really, it all kind of melds together. We're all asking a pot of people for money. So here we go. So a little bit about me. Joanna gave a very nice summary. I spent the first part of my career with Shakespeare Festival of Dallas, City of Irving at the Irving Arts Center, and the Dallas Regional Chamber, all nonprofits. I have a servant's heart for nonprofit. I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like. So when we say, hey, just make a plan and get it done, I understand that there's 15 other balls in the air, and payroll still needs to be met. So I come from your seat and have moved on to for-profit, but we have several nonprofit clients today. All right, so I thought we'd start real quick with the state of giving in Dallas. And this is a little depressing, but it's also encouraging. So we look at the top 10 cities supporting local charities, and this is 2022 numbers. And here you go. You got your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but lo and behold, Dallas-Fort Worth is number 6. So that's encouraging. I wish it was a little bit higher, but we are on the top 10. However, when we start getting very niche and looking very granular, you take a look at supporting arts and culture. DFW is not on here. Take a look at education. DFW is not on here. And it's going to sound very redundant as we go on. Take a look at environment and animals. DFW is not on here. The same holds true for health, supporting health in human services. Not on here. International affairs. DFW is not on here. However, when you look at religion, Dallas-Fort Worth is on here. So what does that tell us? That Dallas-Fort Worth is a giving community. They are willing to support us. Since we're in the arts, and today's talk is about arts and culture, we're going to have to work a little bit harder to convince them of the need. So Giving Tuesday opportunities. And when I say Giving Tuesday, please intertwine that with North Texas Giving Day and end of year. I thought this was really interesting. Giving Tuesday or North Texas Giving Day is not just a fundraising day. It's a day when people talk and think about giving back. It's in their mind, it's on the news, it's on social media, so you can't help but think about it. What we have found that is missing is sometimes the simplest thing, the ask. So I'm a graduate of my undergrad came from University of Texas at Arlington. And a few years back, they came to me and asked if I would get involved. And I was very clear with them. I don't have deep pockets, but I do have experience and I do have time. And so I've become very involved with them and advising them and sit on their board of advisors, gave the commencement speech a couple years ago. And it wasn't until their director of development came to me and asked, why did I get involved with UTD just recently? And I said, because someone asked. Before then, nobody had ever asked me. And so it wasn't even on my radar. I had other things I was giving to, other things I was supporting. But when somebody asked me, I think it all started with a $100 donation I made. It was from a student telethon they called, and that's how I got on their radar. So think about that when we're talking through these things. Statistics here. Giving Tuesday donors in the US gave $3.1 billion in 2023. 34 million adults participated in Giving Tuesday in some way. Giving Tuesday inspires people from around the world to give their time, skills, goods, voice, and more, showing that everyone has something to give and act generously. To act generously counts. And 12 times more donors get involved with a nonprofit organization on Giving Tuesday compared to any average day of the year. This statistic shocked me more than anything. 12 times more donors get involved with a nonprofit organization on Giving Tuesday. And supporters gave an average gift of $175. While important, it's real important that we keep this day in perspective. And whether it's Giving Tuesday or North Texas Giving Day, just to keep it into perspective. Many nonprofits make the mistake of treating Giving Tuesday as the biggest fundraising event of the year. It's incredibly important, and it will do wonders for your fundraising strategy to maximize the day. However, if it's not the biggest day of your fundraising, don't worry, you're not alone. And I would beg to argue with the listeners on, I'd love to hear from you guys, is it your biggest fundraising event of the year?
No.
Whoops. No, I heard one no.
No.
No. So I'm going to assume that it's not, because there's a lot of competition out there. And I've always looked at Giving Tuesday, and I am not a fundraiser, I'm a communicator. But I would argue the fact of, would you go and ask your biggest supporter, the person who gives you the most money? Let's just say Joe Smith gives you $1 million a year. Wouldn't that be nice? But gives you $1 million a year. Are you going to ask Joe Smith on Giving Tuesday 4 weeks before the end of the year for this gift? Probably not. And you're probably going to do it more one-on-one. So these next few things are just to reassure you, don't worry, you're not alone. Here is a chart that came from Bloomerang on Giving Tuesday, and you will see that in December that the majority of organizations, their biggest fundraising day is on the 31st, which is really interesting. Because I do know from my work with nonprofits, not a lot of thought is given to December 31st. And if you're looking off of this side, maybe we should rethink that. Okay, so to keep this in perspective, ask yourself before you rush in and create this massive plan for Giving Tuesday, ask yourself questions such as, were our end of year fundraising results impacted by Giving Tuesday? Are your Giving Tuesday donors retained at a higher or lower level than other donors? Do Giving Tuesday donors upgrade at the same velocity as donors generated via other campaigns? And do the hours spent preparing and executing your Giving Tuesday strategy yield as much as those hours being spent on other types of campaigns? Just from the talk that we've had right so far, my guess is no to every single one of these. And you're not alone. And then the last one is, did survey results from Giving Tuesday donors yield the same level of allegiance to your organization? But with all that said, I do believe Giving Tuesday and the other end of year campaigns, North Texas Giving Day, do yield a lot of opportunities, and many are untapped opportunities. They're for new donors, obviously, new volunteers, reach new prospects, increase awareness and consideration, grow your database, and grow your database. Now, Giving Tuesday, North Texas Giving Day, has 5 phases that we need to be aware of. It starts with storytelling. That's number 1. We have to have our story. We have to know exactly what we're going to be telling people. Number 2 is a solid plan. Number 3 is key supporters to share your story. Number 4 is strong execution. And number 5 is something that we tend to forget because we've got 15 other things on our plate, but continued follow-up and engagement with donors. So if you were to ask me what the most important thing out of these five are, it's going to be a solid plan. And that's what we're going to spend the majority of our talk today with. So we have multiple channels to consider when going out for a fundraising campaign. We can use social media, we can use email, we can use organic search, digital advertising. And organic search, is everyone familiar what organic search is?
No.
So let me just show you real quick.
Okay.
So let's just do, and I'm not picking on anybody, I am just going to type in organizations and DFW to give to on Giving Tuesday. Okay, so North Texas Giving Day right there is an organic search. North Texas Giving Day, Giving Tuesday, Plano Chamber of Commerce. Nonprofits to support on Giving Tuesday. It would really be good if the Arts Council could create a page that said nonprofit art groups to support during Giving Tuesday or North Texas Giving Day. Dallas Weekly Giving Organizations, Catholic Charities Giving Tuesday, Catholic Charities Dallas. These are all organic search, and it's done by keywords. So this right here would be our keyword phrase. Okay. Digital advertising, influencer marketing, podcast, video marketing, events, phone, SMS text, radio, television, outdoor, and direct marketing. And there's a plethora of more channels, but these were the most obvious. Excuse me. All right, so any good plan is going to start with goals and measurements. However, having been in nonprofit, I know from firsthand experience, sometimes we ready, fire, aim instead of aim, ready, fire. And I know that my experience is not unique. I can remember days where we looked up and said, oh crap, we're short, $5,000 or whatever it may be. Let's do a fundraising campaign, get on the phones and start asking. That was our plan right there. And with pretty dismal results. So why having a goal makes a big difference? Thought this was really interesting. It came from Giving Tuesday. That organizations that had a measurable goal reported greater success and a significant success. Effect has been increasing each year. Setting goals helps focus activity. And then why goal settings matter? Because it allows us to plan activities aligned with that objective, and goals can motivate others. And goals can motivate others, but really just remember this right here. No goal is over here. Yes to a goal is over here. And remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. I hate that, but it's so true. Unless you are like my teenage daughter, who says, procrastinator, no, I just want to wait until the last second to do my work because I will be older, therefore wiser. That's what she thinks. I am nixing this, okay? So don't go with this meme. The plan, goals versus objective versus strategies versus tactics. If those are confusing, don't feel alone. It took me a long time to figure out the difference. So let's start with the goal is the overarching aim that you want to achieve. The specific plans that are used to achieve the goals and objectives. So this all got all discombobulated. I apologize. So the goal, the overarching aim you want to achieve. It might be to raise enough money for our end of year campaign. Okay. It's very overarching. It's not very specific. The objectives are the specific goals that you want to break down into smaller ones to achieve goals and with measurements and KPIs, key performance indicators. Strategies are how we're going to accomplish those goals. And then the tactics, which is typically where people start, is the tactics, because the tactics are the fun things. It might be, oh, we're going to do a press release. Oh, we're going to do an email campaign. Or, oh, we're going to do a video to put on the website. Those are the tactics. So we're going to dig a little bit further into this by looking at SMART objectives. Specific, is your goal clear? Measurable, how will you measure success? What are your key performance indicators? Are they attainable? Are your metrics realistic? So attainable being, if you want to raise $10,000 or $100,000, but last year you only raised $10,000, it's probably not realistic. Let's get to more attainable goals. Relevant. Is your goal related to your mission? And timely. Do you have a timeline, a beginning date and an end date? So to put this into practice, let's get some examples. So our objective is to acquire 200 or more new donors and raise $25,000 a week before, during, and a week after Giving Tuesday to fund our services. If that is our objective, is it specific? Yes, we're using Giving Tuesday to attract 200 new donors and raise $20,000, or that should be $25,000 for the end of year campaign. Is it measurable? How will we measure success? How will you know if you've achieved your goal? $25,000 should be $25,000 and 200 new donors. Is it attainable? Well, we raised $15,000 last year and have more volunteers this year. So yes, it is very attainable. Is your goal related to your mission? The end of year campaign helps fund our services. Yes. Time bound. When will we start and finish? 15 days, 1 week before, 1 week after Giving Tuesday. A good tip when you're creating your objectives is to begin it with to, followed by an action word. So to acquire, to gain, to execute, to whatever it may be, but make sure it's an action verb. That is an objective. Strategies. So our objective here is to acquire 200 or more new donors and raise $25,000 a week before, during, and after Giving Tuesday to fund our services. Strategies should begin with by. So by creating a page to motivate visitors to take specific actions, or by creating a save the date campaign, etc. So does that make a little bit, is that a little bit clearer that you start with to acquire, and then how are we going to do that? By creating a page, by creating a save the date, by doing this, by doing that. Next, you need to take a look at your audiences. Who are you going to target with your Giving Tuesday, your North Texas Giving Day target audience? It might not be the same as your current donors. You might want to do something completely different. We're going to talk about a campaign that we did for Heroes for Children, which is a health and human services campaign a little bit later. But we wanted to target brand new donors at the micro level. And so that was completely different than what we were used to targeting. So these are the questions. Are you targeting current donors, new donors, etc.? The earlier you can identify your target audience, the better. Think about who in your community might support your specific initiative. Parents, young alumni, staff, local businesses, etc. You might want to, I was thinking about junior players, and if we were doing a campaign for junior players, an idea that came to mind is, why don't we target entirely our efforts on Giving Tuesday with our alumni? Anybody who's been through junior players before, and ask them to be our advocates. Staff, local businesses, etc. If your target market is particular to an industry, for example, doctors, then you will focus your marketing in that industry. The more specific you can be, the better. Instead of picking doctors, you might want to pick neurosurgeons. You may also want to determine if there's a geographic area that you are targeting. So this is just the example to get as specific as you possibly can be. We were talking before the call started that if we were going to do a campaign focused on baby boomers, TikTok would not be part of our strategies, because it's been proven that baby boomers, for the most part, aren't on TikTok as much as Gen X and Gen Z. Then you look at your personas. I'm not going to get too much in the weeds with this, because personas are incredibly difficult to understand, but these are the high level. Who are they? Age, employment, income bracket. Are they married, single, divorced, geographic location? Then what do they think and why? What are their values? What causes do they support? What are their attitudes? What is their motivation for giving? What problems do they want to solve? And then finally, how do they interact with causes? What is the relationship to the charitable sector? What is their giving history, past campaign engagement, and communication preferences, etc. And then I love this slide. It's like, who else should we target? Well, every man and every woman. If you go after every man and every woman, you're going to fail miserably. The more specific you can be, the better. And if you want to target moms, narrow that down. Moms, where do they live? How many kids do they have? Do they have young kids? Do they have old kids, etc.? You just have to be very, very specific on who you want to target. But I hear it all the time when we go into new meetings. Who is your target audience? Everyone. Well, really? Is it? Or I like better. Who are your competitors? Oh, we don't have any competitors. Oh, okay. Okay. And we just keep asking, but why? But why? But why? But why? But why? And we narrow it down. So don't use this slide as the go-to. You need to think much more granular than this. So 2 things you must do if you don't do anything else with Giving Tuesday and North Texas Giving Day. Excuse me. The first is start early. To create a successful Giving Tuesday campaign, your nonprofit needs a well thought out plan. This involves starting early to ensure your strategy covers all aspects of the campaign. Focus on engagement, keeping donor engagement as your top priority. Number 2, segment your donor list. If you're going to be using the same donors, make sure you segment it, because the same messaging you give to your $25 donor is not the same message you're going to give to your $5,000 donor. Draft email campaigns, very specific to the audience you're going after. However, having worked in nonprofit, I also realize that a lot of times the donor letter is the same letter from the $25 donor to the $10,000 donor. Don't make that mistake. Take the time to segment. It will pay off. Prepare social media content. Optimize your donation page. Create text message content. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. And regularly review these elements. So number 1, start early and build your plan. Number 2 is create and optimize your Giving Tuesday, North Texas Giving Day into your campaign donation page. A well-optimized page is crucial for Giving Tuesday. How many times have you had your website you built a new page on your website? Do you check it on do you check it on your iPhone? Do you check it on your tablet to make sure it's optimized? We don't always. We didn't always. We do now, every day, every time. So just double check and make sure that it can be read. Minimize page load times. A slow loading page can deter potential donors. If it takes too long or too many clicks, they're gonna jump off, especially if they're brand new. Simplify the donation form. Avoid overwhelming donors with too many overly complex questions. Use images sparingly. 1 or 2 impactful images are enough. Don't clutter your page, and make sure those images are sized appropriately. You don't want high resolution images on your page. Ensure mobile optimization. Many donors will be using mobile devices. Make sure your page is mobile friendly. Design a clear confirmation page. After the donor has submitted something, make sure that pop-up happens. So it says, thank you so much for your donation. And then craft a thoughtful confirmation email. So it can go out immediately after the donor has submitted their donation. Okay, so those are the 2 things. If you don't do anything else in this campaign, you need to focus on these 2 slides. All right, so case study. Background. TrizCom worked on an end-of-year giving campaign for Heroes for Children in 2019. This is a little dated, but it still works. Part of this end-of-year campaign included Giving Tuesday. The organization was experiencing extreme donor fatigue, and we were charged with finding ways to attract new donors. I mean, from everyone on the phone that's on this call, I can just assume that you guys experience this too, that you're asking the same people from the same bucket for money every year. So we decided to use Giving Tuesday as a fundraising campaign for micro donations to reach new, younger donors. And part of this was spurred by the Facebook charities. I haven't seen too many of those Facebook charities lately. It went really, really big years and years ago. But every once in a while, I'll see something for my birthday. Please support this cause. And what's interesting about that is very rarely do I see a Facebook campaign that's not achieved. almost every time I see somebody who does a Facebook campaign for their birthday, they exceed what they've requested. I just find that so interesting. So keep your eye out and start looking at those. Okay, so our goal here was to attract 350 or more new donors and raise $25,000 a week before, during, and after Giving Tuesday to help increase disbursements to families who have a child battling cancer. Specific, yes. Measurable, yes. Attainable, yes. Albeit the organization had never raised this much during Giving Tuesday. I think the most they had ever raised was about $10,000. Relevant, yes. And timely, yes. So it meets all of these. So we know it's okay to move forward. Okay, our audience for this was millennials. Millennials prefer to give to and get involved with nonprofits that they hear about from friends and social networks. The phases: strong storytelling, a strong plan, key supporters to share our story, strong execution and continued follow-up and engagement with donors. The channels we were using: social media, email, web, text, and phone. And fundraising platform. Out of everyone on the call, has anybody used Mobile Cause?
No.
It's a fabulous fundraising platform. We've had such great experience with Mobile Cause. If anything, I've included at the end of this their link. They have tons of white papers to look at for ideas. It wasn't expensive at all. And expensive, I think it was like $1,000 to do the whole campaign. And they do a lot of the work for you. But it was something to really look into. We've had really good experiences with Mobile Cause. And no, I don't get paid to say that. I have no affiliation with them other than I'm a customer. Okay, so one of our strategies was to maximize online giving. We needed to ensure that optimization on desktop, mobile, and tablet devices, that the sites had mobile-friendly donation pages. Sites that have mobile-friendly donation pages yield 34% more donations. 34%. That's too big of a percentage to ignore. So ensure that your landing page, website, etc., are desktop, mobile, and tablet friendly. Create a specific landing page for the campaign. How many times do you guys do a campaign and you just send them to your donation page? My guess would be pretty often, because that's the easiest. But it is worthwhile to take time to create a specific landing page for the campaign you're going after. A landing page is branded with end-of-year branding. Include a video or photo. Include suggested donation amounts. Have recurring gift options. You might want to include a memory or an honor of option. Also, one thing we did, we helped Operation Kindness, the no-kill animal shelter, one year with their end-of-year campaign. And we had a box here. I'd like to give this as a Christmas holiday gift. And that was checked. I want to say, I don't have the exact numbers, but it was like 20% of the people who gave used it as a Christmas gift. And so for their thank you pop-up, for anybody who clicked that button, it was a PDF that they could fill in the blank and include with, they could have something that they could wrap up and give to the recipient, that a donation had been made in their honor. Use an animated thermometer. When this is done, they get 35% more donations by creating a sense of excitement. Include the amount that has been raised, number of days, hours, minutes left in the campaign. back to this thermometer. Again, on the Facebook campaigns that people do for their birthdays, I'm always more apt, if I only see they're $10 short or $20 short, I'm more apt to give that $20 so that they get their goal than I am to, versus if they didn't have it on there. So it helps me feel accomplished that, oh, I helped them accomplish a goal. That's cool. Maximize hashtags. Ensure payment page is optimized. Again, it needs to be optimized for desktop, mobile, and tablet. Ensure text to give software is set up. And mobile, oh shoot, hold on, let me go back. What did I say the name of that? Mobile costs, thank you. Has a text to give platform already set up and can help you execute it. That's where we first became familiar with text to give. But if you're targeting Gen X or Gen Z, maybe a little bit millennials, text to give is about the only way they're going to give. Ensure email software is set up and ensure social media is ready. Okay, so this is how we are going to maximize giving. Oh, and ensure Facebook fundraising campaigns are ready. I know there is some ruffling about why charities don't like Facebook fundraising campaigns. I get that. But if it's the only way you're going to reach a certain person, would you rather have 15 out of the $20 raised or nothing? That's what I look at. Next was by activating a Save the Date campaign. The first weeks of November is where you tell your story. You start telling it on social media. You start telling it in all of your communications. By mid-November through Thanksgiving, remind people why they should support you. What have you accomplished this year? What do you have left to accomplish? Who have you helped? On Thanksgiving Day or the day before, send another text sharing a touching story and thank people for their continued support. The day before and on Giving Tuesday, send your requests for gifts, the ask. You will note the 3 steps before, we did not ask them for anything. We were just telling them, you know, we told them our story. Then we told them why they support us, what we've accomplished, who we've helped. And then we told them another sharing story, a touching story about an individual or group that we've helped. Now it's time for the ask. And then during Giving Tuesday and the days after, thank and acknowledge your donors and supporters. Next one was utilizing brand ambassadors. And this becomes absolutely critical for small organizations and organizations with a small staff, is that you have volunteers, you have boards, which I recognize that boards aren't as reliable as some of the volunteers when it comes to this. But really look outside of the box, whether that's alumni, whether that is past employees, past people that have worked with you. Think outside the box when you think about brand ambassadors. Who can help us achieve our goals? Then you have to provide them everything that they need. If you don't provide them everything that they need, you're going to get garbage. Because if you ask somebody, hey, especially your board, which is shocking to me, but if you say, hey, I need you to write a post about Giving Tuesday, they have no idea what to write. Give them a template to where they can fill in the blank. Make it as easy as possible because you're asking them to share it on their social pages. And when you share it on your social pages, their followers Johnny's followers aren't going to be the same as Susie's followers. So it doesn't matter if they're exactly the same. Who cares? They're reaching totally different audiences. But provide them images, links, and suggested language that you want them to share. Create an email or direct message to recruit brand ambassadors. Create requirements such as a digital ambassador, we ask that you tell your friends about Giving Tuesday, Giving Heroes Day, whatever it may be, by posting on your personal social accounts. Change your profile picture to the supplied image. Post your own story or stories. Make a gift and share the Giving Tuesday, Giving Heroes donate link. Include the Giving Tuesday hashtag on all your posts so we can follow and share. Remember, what you post should be authentic and appropriate for you and your friends. Give them the keyword and short code and donation form links for the campaign. You'll want to do this if you can do it to where it can be created in Bitly, so it's unique to them, so you can track exactly where that donation came from. So that would mean every ambassador would have a different Bitly link, but that way you can track it. You can see exactly how many people got sent to the website, how many people acted once they were there from that brand ambassador. Deliver the official logos for your organization. Create branded posts for them to share and unique, inspiring calls to actions. Social media imagery, what pictures or graphics do you want people to post on their feeds? Make sure that they have those. And then ask your most loyal followers to share and post on their personal pages to increase awareness and donations. For Heroes for Children, we were able to go in the back end and find who had, in the past 2 years, who had done a birthday campaign for Heroes. We went back and asked them because we already knew that they were okay asking for money for Heroes. We went back to them and asked them if they would consider doing another campaign. And I don't think we got one single no. Every one of them was, of course, as long as you give me what I need to be successful. Check in with them leading up to and on the day of to keep them up to date and make sure that they're ready. Another strategy we did was creating an unselfie campaign. Encourage your ambassadors and supporters to post unselfies to help spread your message and raise visibility. Encourage unique messages, why they care, why they give. And I'll show you an example in just a second of an unselfie. Provide a branded printable template to so that they can promote their own unselfie to their networks. Ask them to replace their profile pictures with the personal and branded unselfie. And so step 1 is to take a selfie picture holding, I'm going to skip this real quick and show you what an unselfie is. So basically, it says unselfie at the top because that's branded by Giving Tuesday, but it's why people are supporting your cause. And then you post that on your, you have them posted on their social media. And you can also, you gotta love Zoom when you're working from home. So sorry for the delay. Hang tight. Yeah. Yeah. I am on a conference call right now. You're able to do whatever you need to do about this on this call. Okay? Change out here. Yeah, I'll leave the door unlocked and put the dog away. Okay. Want a treat? Okay, she's in here now. I am so sorry. So sorry about that. Okay, so this is enough about unselfies. You guys could pretty much get the gist. Any questions on unselfies?
Nope.
We're good? Okay, great. And then implementing an email campaign. We all know, like I said, none of this is rocket science, but one-click donations from emails. This is the most important step I can tell you. If you have more than 2 steps, you lose people. So if all they have to do is click one button and boom, it takes you to the donation page, perfect. Make it easy for supporters to click your donate button in emails and give it seconds. And then within seconds, it's on their computer, tablet, or smartphone. Embed a video on your sign up form. So at the very top, you'll want to have the donation, but under that, you can have a video or pictures. Track every donation from email, of course. Strengthen email campaigns with text reminders. We'll talk a little bit about text messaging in 1 second. By implementing social media, conveniently collect donations from all types of social media posts and pages. Again, you really only want 1 click. Promote a donation page with a short link to post and text to donate, keyword and images and videos. It's really interesting when you take a look at your past social media campaigns. Go back and just do an audit yourself and look and see how many times you asked for a donation. My guess is going to be not very often, because you don't want to bombard your audience. But during Giving Tuesday and North Texas Giving Day, a week before, day of, and a week after, go ahead and ask. Ask in every single post. If you don't ask, you won't get. Make it easy and obvious to your social followers to make donations. Encourage followers to click the short links in the Facebook and Twitter post. Encourage followers to text to donate in photos and Instagram. Embed your donation page within your Facebook page. Encourage followers to text to donate on Facebook Live and shout out donors as they appear on your fundraising thermometer. So that was something that we did very successfully. Is every time we got a donation, we did a shout out to whoever made that donation, and made sure that we could link to them if possible. Empower social followers to make micro donations of $1 or more. I know it seems a lot for just $1, but is it you got to look at what your goal is. So you might want to say $5 or more. You know, skip Starbucks today and donate your Starbucks money on North Texas Giving Day. By collecting donations from text messaging, connect with donors using text messages, have a 98% open rate. 98%. And here with email marketing, we're happy with 3%. When it comes to getting in touch, there's no better way to talk to your supporters than directly on their mobile devices. Even better, the TCPA, which is the Telecommunications Act, allows special permissions for nonprofits, meaning you can upload any phone number you have on record and start contacting your donors in a matter of minutes. I would double check this because laws change all the time, but to my knowledge, this is still the case. You don't need special permission. Send at least 3 texts with compelling content before asking for a donation. Send links to videos, web pages, social campaigns, and sign-up forms. Integrate text reminders to increase conversions for every channel. So another campaign we did for the Yellow Ribbon Fund, which is based in Washington, D.C., is when we were looking at their mail order, direct mail campaign, we noticed that they have the traditional, you write in your name, you do all that, or you go to their website. I'm like, well, if we have text to give already set up, why would we not just do a text to give automatically? And so we did the first batch with no text to give. We did the second batch with the text to give. And the text to give, we found that more donors were just getting on their phone and texting it. And boom, presto, we increased conversions significantly. All right, utilizing donations via phone. I don't know how many of you guys use a phone-a-thon for donations. It's very old school, but people still do it because it works. Give listeners the power to give from anywhere in seconds. For donors that don't want to give their credit card information over the phone, make sure you can instantly send them a donation page with links by text message. Additionally, you can send 3 automatic reminder texts if they do not fulfill their pledge. That can be done with mobile cause. And when we're talking about the phone-a-thon, I've seen it done. I know Operation Kindness was able to use Channel 5 was their underwriter, their media sponsor, and they did a phone-a-thon out of the station. Heroes for Children. We didn't have everybody in a room. We just gave everybody a list of phone numbers to call on Giving Tuesday. And it was board members and volunteers. And I think each board member had 25 people that we called and asked them for a small gift in addition to what they've already pledged throughout the year. So it doesn't have to be anything formal, just a commitment from your volunteer that they will fulfill their obligation. And then the last one is the peer-to-peer giving challenge, which is really what we've talked about with the unselfie and the other tactics that strategies we've gone over today. But it's when a peer asks another peer to donate, the odds of them donating increase significantly. So if I ask Joanna, hey, Joanna, I've got and this is a real case because I've asked Joanna for this before. I've got a silent auction that I'm helping organize. Can Salmon Center donate something for this silent auction? Okay, it's really hard when you're asking a peer to do something, it's really hard for them to say no when it's one-on-one. So that's the power of peer-to-peer giving challenge. It works. Ambassadors can create their own page in seconds. So this is off of Mobile Cause that they give us the ability to create a landing page per ambassador. And so it could be Joe's landing page or Joe's page for Salmon Center for the Arts. So I would send all of my peers to that page directly. And I would tell my story on why I support Salmon Center. Donations go directly and securely to your cause. Pages are easily shared via social media, email, and text. And it just is another personalized message. So it doesn't look like it is just a be all and end all for everyone at the same time. It's very unique to the donor and to the person asking. Okay, so here we are for text messaging. We connect with donors using text message. We've already talked about this, excuse me. User created video. Here I pulled up an example of the one that I did for Heroes for Children. Can everyone see that the screenshot of the video?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I was afraid of that. Let me see. Zoom. Okay, hold on. Share. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we sent out as an example on how to create the video. Let me make sure that give me one second. Let me make sure it's turned up.
guys, it's Joe Trezilla, and I am a board of director with Heroes for Children. Heroes for Children provides immediate financial assistance to Texas families who have a child battling cancer. And guess what? Today is Giving Tuesday. We've made it through Black Friday, we've made it through Cyber Monday, and now it's Giving Tuesday, where millions of dollars are going to be raised for charity. And I hope just a small fraction of that is for Heroes for Children. I need you to do two things today. Two things, that's it. One, can you go to our website, and I've even included the link below, and make a donation, a $5 donation. Imagine if 1,000 people gave $5, that's a whole lot of money. That's what we're aiming for. So that's number one, make a donation. Number two, I need you to share this message on your network so other people can find out about how great Heroes for Children is. As a reminder, Heroes for Children provides immediate assistance to families battling cancer. That means we provide gas cards, hotel payments, rent, mortgage, utilities, parking vouchers, you name it, we're there. We're the only organization in the state of Texas that helps provide funding for fertility treatments, and the only organization in the state of Texas that helps families with funeral expenses. That's Heroes for Children. I know I can count on you to have the heart of a hero for Heroes for Children today. Remember two things.
Okay, so we sent that out when we were asking people to create videos, because again, you ask somebody to create a video and they don't know what to do. Okay, so let me share this back. Okay. So on here, we're going to talk 57% of online donors make a gift after watching a video, making it most effective form of media. Additionally, in terms of views, likes, and shares, raw footage like that which has just been captured on a smartphone, like the one I did, consistently outperforms professionally produced videos and photos. That statistic has held true since the beginning of social media, and it's shocking to me because you would think that a professionally captured video would way outperform something that we just do on our smartphones, and that's not the case. Showcase the good that you are doing. Share stories of individuals that have been touched by your mission. Highlight the transformative impact of giving. Compel audiences to take action. And create a user submit campaign for HFC's families to communicate how Heroes has helped them. You might want to do one. I'm going to use Salmon Center again. Salmon Center might do one from an artist who has benefited from Salmon Center to talk about how they have benefited. Shakespeare could do one from someone who got their start at Shakespeare and where they are today. Just something that really intrigues people to watch. Ask them to create a video for up to 2 minutes. They need to introduce themselves, how the organization has helped them, 3 words that describe the organization. Ask viewers to give. Create an instruction sheet on how to record the video and communicate a clear deadline. Create a sample video to send to the family so they have an idea. Create a sample video to send to anybody who's doing a video so that they have an idea. It's not rocket science and they don't have to do anything out of this world. It doesn't have to look professional by any means. So same thing for the board of directors, why they give, words that describe the organization, ask the viewer to give, create an instruction sheet on how to record the video and communicate a clear deadline, and send a sample. This is an interesting one. If you plan on using any of these videos, which you might, so it's always better to be proactive than reactive. You might also, when you're including all this, to have them fill out a permission sheet that you can use their video in your promotional activities. And then here's an example of just what we sent out to our ambassadors, that they were chosen. They were hand chosen, so it makes them feel important. Tell them what we're doing, that we have an audacious goal for the entire end of year campaign was 130,000. And I will tell you, we ended up raising close to 200,000. So we did surpass it. But it's super easy. We need a 1-minute video, 1 to 2 minute video taken with your smartphone. Tells them exactly how to do it. Send us your video, or you can text it to us. Then share your video on social media. And it's really that easy. It's all up to you. That's all we ask them to do. So we're not asking them to fundraise for us. We're not asking them to ask their friends. We're just asking them to post it on their social media. Excuse me. And we're going to send you this deck. So, I mean, you can go as far as just copying this. But you can see here, we had a special text HFC, just 71777. That was our unique text to give code. And then it popped up on how they could give directly from their cell phone. Okay, by utilizing analytics, you can track the effectiveness and make real-time adjustments to your website, donation page, and messaging. And this, again, I know is one of the things that we sometimes forget to do, but it's one of the most important, because how do you know, other than if donations are coming in, how successful your campaign is? So with Google, if you don't have Google Analytics set up on your website, please by the end of week, get it set up. It's so important to track your conversion rates and how many people and how many new people are coming to your website. You can even go as micro and check how many people are coming to the donation page. Social media, you want to track your reach on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Short links like Bitly, you can track the number of people that click those links. Donor records, you can track the average gift sizes and frequencies, of course. But out of all of this, we have found the number one way to succeed with peer-to-peer giving is to give the fundraiser every single thing they will need to be successful. Give it in a concise email with all kinds of links, whether it's a Dropbox link that they have access to, that they can have everything that they need, but spoon feed them. You might find yourself saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to insult them by giving them this stuff. No, spoon feed them. Give them every single thing that they need. Give them as many templates as possible. And then here's Mobile Causes link. I did want to show you guys, I need to go back to stop share. I'm going to show you one other thing that I want to share with you. Here's an example. This one right here was the steps, the Giving Tuesday, the email that we sent to, this one was, I believe, to our board of directors. Our goal, create a video and post on your social networks. You have the why here. You have the how here. And then there's a sample. And then for them to become an ambassador and create a pledge form, we needed 100% board participation. We needed 25 teen boards, 25 outsiders, 25 Facebook fundraisers, 25 employees of our corporate donors, and 25 associated with our third-party events. So that right there was, 150 different ambassadors. And an easy way to remember what an ambassador is, Big Brothers Big Sisters was so successful for so many years with their bowl-a-thon, where they would get bowlers go out and ask people for money. Hey, if I bowl a certain amount, you'll give me $10, or if I bowl this amount, you'll give $25. Or to bring it more local, American Heart Association does this with elementary school kids. They can go in and create their own website, if you will. It's their own page off of the American Heart Association that they send all their donors to. And the donor creates a goal of $200 and asks for micro donations of, $5 to $20 from their friends and family, and then they get some sort of prize at the end. But that's an example of an ambassador pledge page. But how to set it up, and you will see that this was again done through Mobile Cause. Our Giving Tuesday social media, there's instructions on how to do that. The link, the audio, what it is, ways to give, etc. But we tried to make it as easy as possible for the user who was going out, because you got to remember that the people that you're asking to give to this campaign aren't staff members, might not necessarily be your regular volunteers that you have, that are as familiar with their organization. But that's a whole lot of information crammed into a little over an hour. I am here now for any questions, any concerns, any experiences that you guys have had.
Joe, thanks so much. That was amazing, and very helpful. So please, if anyone has questions, you can unmute yourself, put up your hand from the reactions below, or just put something in the chat.
Hi, this is Lori, and I have a question for really the whole group. And first of all, thank you. This has been probably one of the most useful presentations I've heard in a long time. So thank you very much. And thank you, Joanna, for arranging this. And my question is a little bit different, and it might not fit in this context, but since we're gathered here, I was wondering about asking people in person, particularly at events. I'm with Over the Bridge Arts. We have 3 major productions a year, and you've already got your people there, and they're excited, and it's a fun evening. And we've kind of done the usual talk from the stage and maybe put something in the program. But I wonder if anybody else, we also sell a little bit of merchandise, but that does not raise very much. So does anyone have any suggestions? Thank you.
I don't think events are the best places to do asks, because generally it's, people are concentrated on the event itself, and it's hard to prioritize who you need to talk to. I think it kind of depends on what you're who you're trying to ask and what you're trying to get. So one-on-one asks work better outside of those kinds of situations. And that really just requires looking at, your patron list, your donor list, your board members, whatever, and prioritizing, and then, figuring out what is the best way to connect with them to make the ask. In person, obviously, is always the best. An annual campaign with a letter or something like that is another option, but I don't think events really, apart from the curtain speech and, putting something in the program and several times during the event, encouraging people to give, I don't think there's a good way to leverage events for individual asks.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
ditto what Joanna just said. I always, if I've spent, $100 to come to an event, I'll use, something like AT&T, whatever. I've spent the money to come there, and now you're gonna ask me for more money on the same day. I always like there to be some kind of, well, thank you so much. We know that you came to this event. Now, would you consider, did you know that your ticket price only covers so much?
I think the exception would be if you have a specific kind of fundraising event. It's not a performance. It's not it's not part of your regular programming. It's a specific fundraising event that might be, again, it's going to be very individual. And I would suggest maybe, Lori, if you could contact me offline. We can talk more about that.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
And
Thank you so much.
Kirsten had
Val.
something
Well,
to
I
add.
was
Can
gonna
I
say
just-
also if it was like with a special campaign for we're trying to redo our lobby, build new dressing rooms or something. And
Right, yeah.
we have this goal and we have a match. But once
Right.
again, it's got to be, they were already there buying tickets. Now the other, if it's a fundraising event, a dinner event, a luncheon, it is very common to do at the end of the event, at the auction, something that we usually call like it's for the cause, very specific. We need $25,000 for a van for our education program and with your auctioneer. And that is very successful. And people have already been there and they're donating money, but then at the end, and you start high and go down to $125. And people, once again, there's a lot of peer pressure there, but that's added a fundraising event. And people
Right.
know they're there, they're going to give money one way or another.
And they're drinking.
And
And
it's structured into the event very specifically.
event.
It's choreographed.
Yeah.
Right.
But I
Right.
think there is a way with a performance, as Joanna and Joe said, if it's it has to be very focused, very brief, with something very focused with a tangible goal, I think.
Okay, thank you. That's a really good suggestion. I had a volunteer once suggest doing the text to give, and I've never done text to give. It sounds like that
Yeah.
might work if
You
we
could
had
do that
something.
during a fundraising event.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people who do it during performances.
Yeah, I haven't heard it either.
Although it's
so thank
become,
you.
I mean, my church does it every Sunday. Text to this. So it's becoming,
Well,
I mean,
yeah, churches are, you're expected to
They're a
give
little
something to the
different.
collection plate anyway, so it's a
Yeah.
little different situation. But
Right.
to Joe's point that you've already paid $100 to be there.
But I said
Right.
for your year-end campaign, though, I really wish sitting through this, Communities Foundation should find a way for North Texas Giving Day to make it easy. We use a software that we use for our luncheon. We have the capacity to text through that software. So we use that on North Texas Giving Day as a reminder, but it's not like they give right there. It's just a link to North Texas Giving Day. So that is something for the future, I think, for Communities Foundation to make it easier for everyone to use that technology, Joe, because your stats are so powerful for that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for
Ruth Ann?
everybody's thoughts. I appreciate it.
Ruth Ann, did you have a question?
I did, and it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand with what we were just talking about. So I run the Orpheus Chamber Singers. We're a professional choir here in Dallas, and Christmas is always our biggest ticket sales, hands down, and we get very large audiences for those. But I always worry about, we try to segment as best we can, but I'm trying to get people to buy tickets, and I'm also trying to get them to give to our end of year campaign. Do you have any suggestions for how to best schedule that and stagger it? Because Giving Tuesday hits at the end of this, right after Thanksgiving, which is right when everybody starts buying their Christmas tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to send out appeals either by email or by, regular mail real close together, because they can tend to confuse your donor and patron as to which is
Right.
which, or, one might get thrown away because they think it's a duplicate or something. I like to keep at least a week between those things. When we send out our annual appeal, we have, really 3 deadlines for that. And, we try to get ahead of the Thanksgiving holidays and the Giving Tuesday with that, try to get it out ahead of all that because people get distracted about other things. So I think it's really just creating a calendar strategy for your organization as to what needs to go out when, because you also probably have a very critical deadline for getting those ticket letters out in order to get ticket sales going. So I would keep some time frame between them, at least a week, maybe a little bit more if you could.
Yeah, it's always, it just feels like a constant balancing act of,
It
and I'm
is.
not
It
to
absolutely is.
overwhelm anybody. But of course I want all their money in every capacity they want to give it to me.
Yeah, we're unique in performing arts because most of us have some sort of holiday event or concert or performance, and then it also coincides with end of year giving, where most other charities do not have that complication.
Exactly. Yeah.
One cool, it's just a little trick that I saw Dallas Children's Theater do one year. It was right around the Christmas holidays. And for anybody who gave, I think it was $200 or more, they got a personalized video message from Scrooge to a recipient. And by God, I had a young kid at the time. I dropped $200 so I could get that personalized message. That, you know, it was maybe 20 seconds. It was like, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. This is Scrooge. Have a good one, Kate. You know, and then went on to the next one.
Yeah.
But it worked.
You could package up a request for, you know, a larger donation with some free tickets to your Christmas show. But if you give this amount, we will give you 2 comp tickets or something
Yeah.
like that. That would be one way to combine the two.
Find them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for the advice. It's been a great presentation, Joe.
Thank you, Ruthie.
Does anyone else have a question for Joe? Loris, did you have a question?
No, I did have a question, but I think it got answered. And I'm just reviewing my notes to see if it comes up again. But otherwise, no, it's been excellent. Just didn't put 2 and 2 together in quite the same way. It's wonderful.
I hope that you guys, thank you for that. But I hope if you don't take anything else away from this, get a plan. Don't be the stereotypical nonprofit where it's, you know, fire then aim. Go ahead and get the plan. You don't have to do everything that's on the plan, but at least you have it in front of you going, oh, I can do this, I can do this. If this isn't working, then I can try this.
I'm going to give you some advice that a very smart woman once said to me about social media, about don't try to do everything, pick 1 or 2 and do it well. And that person was Joe Trezilla in a seminar she did for us some years ago. I would say the same thing about these kinds of strategies for online fundraising. You know, since we're all small organizations, pick the things that you think are very achievable for you. And yeah, as Joe said, have a plan, but try not to overstretch so that what you do decide to do, you do it well.
And one final thing about the peer-to-peer, they do have those for North Texas Giving Day. They have the fundraising pages and their stats. The Communities Foundation says those raise an average of $600 each. We've never had much luck with that, but we're doing 2 separate things this year. We're having our young professionals group meet tomorrow, the week before, 4 to 6 at Community Beer, and we're going to be ready to help them do their own pages that day. And then we have a board meeting the day before North Texas Giving Day. So once again, having our board meeting in person, which we don't always have, so we can be there helping them set up their pages. So we make sure they do it. So just if you are doing North Texas Giving Day, if you have a constituency, we're going to try that to see if it helps us increase our goal this year.
And
Because that peer-to-peer is powerful, as Joe pointed out so well.
because the organization isn't doing the ask.
Right.
Joe Trezilla is doing the ask.
Right.
I'm asking my friends to support an organization that means so much to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, last call for questions for Joe.
And you are going to email us the slides, right? Because I want to share them. Okay.
Yeah, Joe will send them to me and I'll send them out to all of you.
And I
Great.
think
So, Joe-
I sourced everything, so you can go back and find the source.
Great information, Joe.
Thank
Joe,
you.
thank you so much. This was really, really incredible and helpful, and we appreciate you so much. And then I also wanted to let you all know we have a DACAC virtual meeting on the 25th at 4 o'clock, and you can register at the DACAC website. So I hope to see you there. But anyway, thanks, Joe. I hope you feel better.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye,
Thank y'all
guys.
so much.
Yeah.